Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute, so I thought I would catch you all up. So my last video, I just want to say I have been doing fine since my last video. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it, but the last video I posted was about my really negative ER experience. That was also really scary because we didn't know what was going on and thought I might have had a pulmonary embolism. Just wanted to share here that I am fine. I have been fine since that, and I haven't had any of those same symptoms pop up again. If anyone's curious on what the cause was for me to suddenly feel like I couldn't breathe, after talking with my doctor, it seems like it most likely was a bronchospasm, which basically just means my lungs spasmed. Usually it has something that triggers that. There was nothing that we could think of that triggered the bronchospasm in my case. So yeah, it was so weird freak thing that hopefully never happens again. But if anything like that happens again, I now have an inhaler to use as a first resort, at least before doing the whole charade of going in the ER and like panicking and thinking it's, it's good to have an inhaler as the first line of defense for that. But hopefully I will never experience those scary symptoms ever again. But I just wanted to provide a little update. And I'm also going to share right now the upcoming schedule. So after this vlog will be posted, the next video you guys will see, which should be out next week, will be me talking all about pancreatic insufficiency. Finally, after 5 years, I was diagnosed with pancreatic insufficiency 5 years ago. I actually vlogged that entire journey back on my channel during that back in 2020. So if you guys really want to, you can go watch those videos. Am I recommending that you do? No, because I have not watched those since I've edited them 5 years ago. But I was diagnosed with pancreatic insufficiency 5 years ago, and I've always said I would do a video, but I just put it off because it was really difficult. And I finally filmed it, so it's edited and posted and ready to go. It just needs to be made public. I did want to preface by saying though, I did film it a few months ago, so I have longer hair in that video than I do now. It was before I got my hair cut, so if you were wondering in the next video why I suddenly have long hair again, that's why. Also, why am I wearing a sweatshirt in the middle of summer? It wasn't summer when I recorded that video, but the point is, you guys will be able to watch it and hear about my whole experience, the symptoms, my diagnosis journey, and kind of all of that. And I will be doing more videos about it in the future too. So definitely stay tuned for that. That's going to be the next video. And after that video, there's going to be some travel related videos. So we went on vacation, me and my family did. I'm very excited to share where we went. I'm going to keep it a secret until I post those vlogs. Honestly, it's not a crazy secret. I'll give you a hint. It was somewhere with the beach, and it was just a really, really fun time. And I'm excited to share those videos. And I'm also planning on making a video on how I travel with all of my medical supplies, my IV fluids, my TPN, my medications, and what it's like going through TSA security and flying with it all and not checking any of it into luggage. So stay tuned for that as well. That will be coming up at some point in the future. But I am excited to get back in the swing of things, and I'm trying to set myself up to where I will get back to somewhat of a schedule that has been an issue for the past few years for me with this channel. My intention is always to post all the time. In actuality, I haven't executed that as I wish I could have. So that's going to be the schedule coming up. And yeah, there's also a few other random updates. I finally did a gallery wall, which I'll share in a future vlog. I don't even know if you guys even care. You probably don't even care and are like, Haley, what are you talking about? But last fall, so almost a year ago, I redid my sitting room here and I got this recliner. And I started planning a gallery wall, and it's finally up all these months later, so excited about that. But medical updates, so if you guys have been following me for the past few months or since the beginning of the year, at the very least, if you've been with me for a while, you know I have been on the search for a new GI doctor who would take over my TPN to treat my pancreatic insufficiency, because my current doctor lives out of state and I had to go travel out of state to visit her back in March, and it's just way too much to do that every year because that's the policy. of where she's at. So it appears that I found a new doctor who will take me on for pancreatic insufficiency. And so as time goes on, my goal with the doctors, and like all the doctors involved know this, that my care will be completely switched over by the end of this calendar year, by the end of 2025, hopefully sooner rather than later. I have an upcoming appointment with him again, but I really liked him, and he was literally the only doctor in the entire state I live in / area of the country I live in that actually would set up an appointment with me and talk about taking me on, which is just insane that I have not been able to find a doctor anywhere around me that would take that on. So hopefully that all starts working out. And I am also working on decreasing my TPN, and my doctors have already decreased some of the calories, and I'm really hopeful to try to be weaned off as much as I can. It would be really wonderful if I could get off of it completely. I will definitely talk about more details about that in the future as they come. We'll see. I'm nervous about change and changing doctors. That's always really nerve-wracking. You never know what's going to happen, but I'm hopeful that it will all turn out well. And lastly, just want to say I'm fine. This is not related whatsoever to what happened a couple months ago when I went to the ER. Just want to state that. But 2 days after I was home from vacation, literally 2 days after, we got home Wednesday, this was Friday, my line would not flush. My central line would not flush. And when that happens, typically that means there's a blood clot. I have not had a blood clot with this line. I've had this line in since 2020. However, I've had other central lines and I've had blood clots with them. I had a blood clot with like a double lumen Broviac. So many blood clots when I had to port, blood clots when I had to pick lines. So like, it's been a number of years. So I didn't quite like super freak out just because I've experienced this before. But obviously it's not good. It's never good when you develop a blood clot. So that happened, and I ended up going into the ER because that was faster than getting a hold of my doctor and having my doctor order it through my nursing company, which is so ridiculous. But anyways, I went in the ER, and God truly answered my prayers, because that was the smoothest and quickest ER experience I've ever had. It was an ER I hadn't been to that specific location before. Everyone there was so nice and went so smooth. They knew exactly what to do. They don't typically deal with lines in the ER, but they knew about my line. They took all the protocols in place to keep everything clean and sterile, and I greatly appreciate that. So I got TPA, which is a clot buster, and it busted the clot, and then I went on my way home. Like, we got to the ER at like 3 p.m., maybe a little before 3 p.m., and we were out by 6 p.m. And if you haven't been to the ER or the hospital, just so you know, that's like a very quick turnaround. It was a very pleasant experience. So I'm very grateful that it was quick and breezy, thankfully. And I haven't had any issues since, but I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, that waited until I was home. And it didn't happen when I was on vacation, which I will take that. It's not what I would have wanted, obviously, but I will take that. But with all of that said, that's kind of the update for this video. And I'm excited for you guys to see the videos coming up. And yeah, I'm excited. So definitely stay tuned for the future videos, and please leave any suggestions for videos you want, any requests. Let me know in the comment section. You can also message me on Instagram. I have the same handle everywhere, at TheMitoWarrior. And don't forget to like this video so more people will see it, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.